My dear friends, life is not a race to be run faster than others. It is a journey to be walked with awareness, discipline, and purpose. A woman's strength is not measured by how loud she speaks, but by how deeply she connects with her inner self, with God, and with the world around her. Today, let us reflect together on habits, the small actions we practice daily, because these habits quietly shape the destiny of our lives. If a woman builds the right habits, she not only wins in life, she becomes an inspiration, a light, and a blessing for everyone she meets. Every great success is built not in a day, but in the discipline of many days. Just like a drop of water may look small, but when it falls again and again, it can carve through the strongest stone. In the same way, our habits carve our destiny. The world may often tell women what they cannot do, but God whispers to the heart of every woman, "You are capable, you are strong, you are sacred." If we truly want to rise, we must cultivate habits that align our mind, body, and soul with higher values. Today, I will share with you 7 powerful habits every woman must build if she truly wants to win in life, not just in material success, but in inner peace, strength, and fulfillment. Gratitude is one of the most powerful habits a woman can cultivate because it changes not just how we see the world, but how the world responds to us. Imagine beginning your day with a heart full of thankfulness instead of complaints. Most people wake up and the first thought they have is about what they lack. I wish I had more money. I wish I had a better house. I wish life was easier. But think about it. The very fact that you woke up this morning is itself a gift. Millions of people didn't open their eyes today, yet you and I have been blessed with one more day to live, to try again, to love again, to rise again. Gratitude is like the sunlight that makes flowers bloom. Without it, even the most beautiful garden will wither. When you practice gratitude, you start to notice blessings in places you once ignored. The simple glass of water you drink when you are thirsty suddenly feels like a treasure. The food on your plate is no longer just food. It becomes an offering of life, a blessing from God. Even the people around you, your family, your friends, the ones who sometimes annoy you, begin to appear differently when you look at them through gratitude. You start to realize that they are not burdens, but companions, each teaching you lessons, each shaping you into a stronger person. Think about the woman who wakes up every morning at 5 a.m. to prepare breakfast for her children. For years, she may complain, "Why is it always me? Why don't others help me?" But the day she shifts her perspective and says, "Thank you, God, for giving me the strength to cook, for giving me these children to love, for giving me food to prepare," suddenly the same routine becomes sacred. Gratitude transforms routine into ritual, duty into devotion, and burden into blessing. In life, difficulties will come. Gratitude does not mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means even in pain, we find something to be thankful for. A woman may lose a job, and while her heart aches, she can still be grateful for the skills she gained, for the experience she carries, and for the new doors God will surely open. Another woman may face heartbreak, and though the wound is deep, gratitude allows her to see that even pain has given her strength, teaching her what true love and respect should feel like. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, it gives us the courage to walk through them with hope. The mind works like a mirror. If we only focus on what we lack, the mirror reflects back emptiness. But if we focus on what we have, the mirror reflects abundance. Gratitude is the polish that clears away the dust of dissatisfaction, allowing us to see clearly the beauty that already exists in our lives. Let me share a simple example. Imagine you are carrying a heavy bag filled with stones and diamonds. If your eyes are only on the stones, you will complain about the weight, the pain in your shoulders, the struggle of the journey. But if you open the bag and see the diamonds, you will still feel the weight. But now you will walk with joy, knowing you are carrying treasure. Life is like that bag. Every one of us has both struggles and blessings. Gratitude is the habit of choosing to see the diamonds instead of crying over the stones. Science even confirms what spirituality has always taught. When we practice gratitude, our brain releases chemicals that make us happier and calmer. Stress reduces, relationships improve, and even the body heals faster. Gratitude is not just a moral habit, it is a healing medicine. But unlike pills, it costs nothing and has no side effects. And think about how gratitude affects others. A simple thank you can melt the heart of someone who feels unseen. When a mother thanks her child for helping, the child feels encouraged to do more. When a wife thanks her husband for even a small gesture, he feels respected and motivated. When you thank a friend, you deepen your bond. Gratitude spreads like fire, warming every heart it touches. Now let us reflect. How often do we pause to thank God sincerely, not just in words, but in feeling? Not only when we get what we want, but even when life gives us what we did not ask for. Sometimes unanswered prayers are blessings in disguise. Sometimes delays are protections we don't understand yet. A grateful heart says, God, I trust your wisdom. I may not see the whole picture, but I know every day you are guiding me. That trust builds unshakable peace inside. So, if you want to win in life as a woman, build this habit of gratitude. Start small. Each morning, write down 3 things you are thankful for. Each night, recall 3 blessings from your day. When life feels heavy, whisper to yourself, there is still something to be grateful for. Slowly, this habit will rewire your entire being. Complaints will fade, joy will grow, and your life will shine so brightly that others will feel uplifted just by being in your presence. Gratitude is not weakness. Gratitude is power. Because when you live in gratitude, you are no longer controlled by circumstances. You rise above them. And the woman who lives with gratitude is the woman who truly wins in life. Self-respect is one of the most vital treasures a woman can hold. Because without it, everything else in life loses its meaning. A woman who does not respect herself will always seek validation from the outside world. She will bend, she will break, she will compromise her dignity just to be liked, just to be accepted. But a woman who carries self-respect in her heart walks like a queen, not because the world crowns her, but because she has crowned herself with inner worth. Every day, life presents us with choices where our self-respect is tested. Maybe it is in a relationship where you are not valued, yet you stay because you fear being alone. Maybe it is in a workplace where your talent is ignored, yet you remain silent because you fear losing the job. Maybe it is in friendships where you are used, yet you continue because you fear rejection. But my dear friends, when you give up your self-respect, you are not gaining peace, you are losing your own soul. Think of a beautiful crystal glass. If you pour clean water into it, it shines. But if you allow mud and dirt to fill it, no one will value it anymore. Self-respect is like keeping your glass clean. When you respect yourself, you set a standard. You say to the world, this is who I am, this is what I deserve. I will not allow anyone to treat me less than this. And when you live by that standard, others naturally begin to treat you with the same respect. Many women confuse self-respect with arrogance, but there is a vast difference. Arrogance says, I am better than you. Self-respect says, I will not allow myself to be treated as less. Arrogance looks down on others, but self-respect lifts yourself up. Arrogance builds walls, but self-respect builds boundaries. And boundaries are sacred. They protect your peace, your dignity, your values. Consider a daily life example. A woman working in an office may find her colleagues joking about her in ways that are disrespectful. If she laughs along just to fit in, she feels small inside. But the day she calmly says, I don't appreciate being spoken to that way, she may face silence, she may face discomfort, but in that moment, she teaches everyone how to treat her. She stands taller, not because she shouted, but because she honored her own dignity. That is the power of self-respect. It teaches the world how to behave around you. Even in relationships, self-respect is the foundation of love. Without it, love becomes slavery. When a woman respects herself, she does not beg for affection, she does not chase validation, she does not tolerate abuse. She understands that true love will never ask her to shrink herself, never demand that she suffer in silence, never make her feel unworthy. Self-respect gives her the courage to walk away from what harms her and the patience to wait for what honors her. Let us reflect on this truth. God has created every woman as sacred, not as someone to be stepped on, used, or disrespected. You are not an object for the world's approval. You are a soul, a light, a divine creation. If God has given you this dignity, why would you throw it away for temporary acceptance from people who don't even see your worth? Respecting yourself is, in fact, respecting God's creation. When you honor yourself, you honor the one who made you. Think of a garden. If you don't build a fence, anyone can walk in, pluck the flowers, or trample the plants. But when you create a boundary, you protect the beauty inside. Self-respect is that fence. It doesn't make you less loving. It makes your love more powerful. Because now you are giving it from a place of strength, not desperation. Let me give you another simple example. A woman at home spends her entire day working, cooking, cleaning, caring for the family. Yet, sometimes she feels invisible. She thinks, maybe if I do more, they will appreciate me. But the truth is, appreciation comes not from doing more, but from valuing yourself first. When she says, I also need time for myself, I also deserve rest, she is not being selfish. She is practicing self-respect. And when she respects her own needs, slowly the family begins to see her in a new light, not just as someone who serves, but as someone who deserves honor. Self-respect also means being honest with yourself. It means not lowering your values just because the crowd is moving in a different direction. It means saying no when your heart knows something is wrong, even if everyone else says yes. It means choosing silence over gossip, integrity over shortcuts, truth over convenience. These are not small choices, they are the bricks that build your character, and character is the strongest pillar of self-respect. Life will test you again and again. There will be moments where compromising your dignity seems easier than standing firm. But remember this, when you lose money, you can earn it back. When you lose possessions, you can buy new ones. But when you lose self-respect, it is far more difficult to reclaim. Protect it like a jewel, because it is the foundation of your happiness. A woman who respects herself does not need to shout for attention. Her presence speaks louder than words. She walks into a room and people sense her strength. She faces challenges, but she does not collapse under them. She receives love, but she never begs for it. And even if she stands alone, she does so with grace because her worth is not dependent on numbers, but on values. So, my dear sisters, build this habit of self respect. It will not always be easy. Sometimes it will mean letting go of people. Sometimes it will mean walking away from opportunities that don't align with your dignity. But in the end, self respect will give you something far greater. It will give you peace of mind, strength of spirit, and the unshakable joy of knowing that you live true to yourself. And that, my friends, is one of the greatest victories any woman can achieve. Discipline is the bridge between who we are today and who we dream of becoming tomorrow. It is not about punishment or rigidity. It is about creating order, focus, and direction in our lives. Without discipline, even the most talented person will fall short, because talent without consistency is like a boat without a rudder. It may float, but it will never reach the shore. Discipline is the quiet power that turns small daily actions into great achievements. Think about this: when the sun rises every morning, it does not miss a single day. It does not say, "I am tired, I don't feel like shining today." The sun rises with discipline, and because of that, the whole world functions. Imagine if one day the sun decided to be lazy, life on earth would collapse. In the same way, when we lack discipline, our lives begin to collapse silently. But when we build discipline, even little by little, our life gains rhythm, balance, and direction. For a woman, discipline can be the most empowering habit. Every day there are countless distractions: the phone, social media, endless conversations, unnecessary comparisons. These distractions are like thieves, silently stealing our time, our focus, and our energy. But discipline is the guard at the door. It protects what is valuable, it keeps us aligned with our goals, and it ensures that we don't waste this precious gift called life. Take a simple example of waking up early. Many people set alarms, but when the alarm rings, they snooze it 5 times. They say, "Just 5 more minutes," and those 5 minutes become half an hour. That small delay seems harmless, but slowly it becomes a habit, and the day begins with laziness instead of energy. On the other hand, a disciplined woman decides, "When the alarm rings, I rise." She may struggle in the beginning, but with practice, it becomes natural. She gains an extra hour each morning, not just of time, but of peace, of clarity, of preparation. That single hour, repeated daily, becomes the foundation of her success. Discipline is also about how we manage emotions. Imagine a woman in an argument. Anger rises, words burn her tongue, ready to escape. If she lacks discipline, she speaks without control, and relationships are damaged. But if she practices discipline, she pauses, breathes, and chooses her words carefully. She may still express her feelings, but in a way that heals rather than harms. That is discipline, not suppression but mastery. In studies, discipline often outweighs intelligence. A student who studies 1 hour every day with discipline will surpass a brilliant student who studies only when he feels like it. Similarly, in life, a woman who works steadily, who manages her time, who respects her routines, will always progress more than someone who moves only with mood and impulse. Discipline does not give instant results, but it guarantees lasting results. Think of a seed planted in the soil. You water it today, nothing happens. You water it tomorrow, still nothing. But if you water it daily, with discipline, slowly it grows roots, then a stem, then leaves, and one day it becomes a tree. The same is true of habits. Going to the gym one day won't make you healthy. Reading one page won't make you wise. Saving one coin won't make you rich. But doing it daily, with discipline, will transform your life. Let's also remember, discipline is not about perfection. It is about persistence. Many people quit because they think, "I missed one day, I failed." But discipline is not about never falling, it is about always standing up again. A child learning to walk falls many times, but she gets up each time, and one day she runs. That is discipline. The determination to keep moving forward no matter how many times you slip. In daily life, discipline can be as simple as keeping your surroundings clean. A woman who keeps her home organized feels more peace within. A woman who organizes her thoughts through journaling feels more clarity in decisions. A woman who manages her spending feels more freedom financially. These small acts of discipline may seem ordinary, but they build extraordinary lives. And remember, discipline is not the enemy of freedom, it is the creator of freedom. A woman without discipline becomes a slave to moods, cravings, and distractions. But a disciplined woman controls her time, her energy, her emotions. She chooses her path instead of being dragged by the noise of the world. That is true freedom, the freedom to live intentionally. Even spiritually, discipline is vital. To sit in silence, to pray, to connect with God, it requires discipline. The mind resists, it wants to wander, it says, later, later. But the woman who disciplines her mind to pause daily for reflection begins to shine with inner strength. Her life is not tossed by storms because her anchor is strong. So, my dear sisters, discipline is not a cage, it is a key that unlocks your potential, a key that opens doors to success, peace, and strength. It may feel heavy at first, like carrying a weight, but over time that weight becomes your wings. And with those wings, you will not just walk through life, you will soar